I'm Miyoko. I am a toy educator and intimacy expert, pole dancer, mother, author, speaker. What aren't I? I started talking to people about sex back in '99 maybe, when I went to work for Playboy. I hosted some live shows for them. Got very interested in the emails that I would get from women and couples all over the country asking for sex advice. Most of our sexual issues seem to stem from mistrust, boundaries or lack thereof. It always comes back to some sort of communication. It's always mental or spiritual. It's never actually physical. It's very rare that it's just a purely physical issue, and usually those are some sort of erectile dysfunction issues that can usually be solved, the ones that I'm talking to, without medication, with some sort of communication with their partner, and maybe a couple of marital aids or toys or products that can also enhance the situation. I would say that the reason people are not comfortable talking about sex is because they really aren't comfortable yet with owning their own sexuality, meaning somehow in our traditional marriage relationship in this country, we believe that we give ourselves to our partner when we get into a relationship, and we no longer are responsible for our sexuality. Both partners equally. Men seem to think that women should kick down so that they can have an orgasm, and women feel responsible for their male orgasm. And then that usually turns into some sort of resentment and possessionary issues and cheating and distrust, and all of the other things come with it. So really, I think the bottom line is, if we could own our sexuality and be free, whether we're in a relationship or not, then our sexuality issues would diminish. I started masturbating when I was 9. I was raised very Christian, actually by choice. I was very religious in my family, and I thought for sure I was going to hell. I prayed to God that I would stop masturbating. Lost my virginity when I was 15, and while I didn't have a whole lot of sexual partners at that age, I knew what needs I had, what spiritual, physical, emotional needs I had at that point, and so it seemed like a natural age for me to start. I really didn't come into my sexuality, however, until I was about 21, and that's when I started stripping, and I could be free, I could be naked, I could be sexy and flirtatious without consequence, and that's when my sexual life, my erotic life, really began. You know, I really kind of kicked religion out the door in one cold turkey move. I had had enough of the guilt and the feelings of shame, and that I was going to hell, that something so simple and primal and necessary could be bad. So I don't really remember thinking about it too long and hard. I think I just kind of said, screw that. My message to anybody who's not comfortable exploring is to be gentle with yourself, because usually it's not the physical part that you're not comfortable with. There's some sort of underlying emotions that once we start to play and stimulate these organs and glands and areas that we hold emotion, it can be scary for people. So just be gentle with yourself and go at your own pace. Be with people that you can trust, who care for you and aren't just trying to take something from you, and explore away. Have fun with it at your own pace. My tip would probably be, and you're gonna think it's silly, but is to have more foreplay. And a lot of people go, duh, but really people don't understand that blood flow is one of the most important things when it comes to the pleasure aspect of sex. So the more blood flow you can get to the labia, the clitoris, the penis, the more pleasurable it's gonna be. So really take your time in getting those juices flowing, quote unquote, because that will turn out to be a much better experience.